Some Harry Potter breaking news, fallout from the Bachelor drama, and a review of some of the best new music.
Single or coupled up on Valentine's Day yesterday? That doesn't matter. We have all the ways you can show some love to yourself 365 days a year.
We have it here covered in the next 30 minutes. From Hamden to Hollywood, we are your source for entertainment news.
From Hamden to Hollywood, we are your source for entertainment news.
What's going on, hashtaggers? I'm Jonathan Banks.
And I'm Katie O'Keefe. We have the best entertainment news of the week coming at you in this next half hour. Starting with, Meghan Trainor and her husband have started a family. The dear future husband singer gave birth to her first child, a baby boy named Riley, with her husband of 2 years, Daryl Sabara. The baby's due date was originally Valentine's Day, but born a couple days early on February 8th, Riley was 7 pounds, 8 ounces. And despite temporary diabetes during her pregnancy, Riley was born a happy and healthy boy. JoJo Siwa, easily recognizable by her sparkly bows and neon outfits, just celebrated this Valentine's Day with a very special someone. The 17-year-old started dating her girlfriend Kylie in January, which is the same month Siwa came out as a member of the LGBTQ community. The couple went public last week, but both Siwa and Kylie posted to their social medias yesterday to show how happy they are together. Siwa quickly became an icon for her young fans after starting her career on the hit show Dance Moms in 2015. Siwa has since then become a singer, a YouTuber, and an actress.
This coming Saturday, Bridgerton host Regé-Jean Page will be hosting Saturday Night Live. Page is hosting coming off a SAG Award nomination for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Drama Series. Musical star Bad Bunny will also be joining him as a host. To All the Boys, Always and Forever came out on Netflix this past weekend, and the results were mixed, to say the least. The movie received a 2.9 rating out of 5 on Letterboxd, and anything under 3 is not promising for future streaming. You know, Katie, as I was writing this reader, I was talking to Gabby, one of the producers behind the set, and she was telling me how horrible that movie was. It was on Netflix. It was the third version. She was telling me how bad it was. Sydney helped me find Letterboxd, actually, so I was very unfamiliar with that stuff, but
we'll have to watch it and give our own review.
So you do want to watch it? Maybe. All right. The other two actually got some good views, so that's why they made a third. Anyway, Harry Potter has been trending on Twitter with the news of HBO dropping a live-action show on the series.
Audrey and Isabella have the details.
Hi, I'm Christopher Ronk.
And I'm Audrey Scafati.
And today we'll be discussing the
Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
For other people who aren't Potterheads out there like me and Audrey, let's give you a basic rundown of what Harry Potter is.
Basically, Harry Potter is a young wizard who was left an orphan because his parents were killed by Lord Voldemort when he was a baby.
However, when he turns 11, he gets a letter from Dumbledore where he gets accepted into Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
You can follow his story through 7 books or 8 movies, and you can learn all about the Wizarding World. Some of the things that you can learn about is the history of Hogwarts. For example, the founders Helga Hufflepuff and Godric Gryffindor, along with Rowena Ravenclaw and Salazar Slytherin.
Rumor has it that a new show is coming to HBO Max, and it's the early production stage of a possible Harry Potter show.
And we couldn't be more excited.
So we wanted to share a few of our theories of what the show should be about.
A show that we think would be a great idea is about the Marauders and Harry's parents and their friends when they were young and growing up in Hogwarts. We can learn about the discovery of the Marauders map, the origins of the Order of the Phoenix, and even some fans have some speculation that Remus Lupin and Sirius Black were in love in their time at Hogwarts. Also with the Marauders, people on TikTok have been making their dream cast of what they think the Marauders should be and how they think the show should be cast.
Another theory that Audrey and I have has to do with the history and backstory of Tom Riddle, aka He Who Shall Not Be Named, aka Lord Voldemort.
Don't say his name!
Sorry! Basically, this show would follow all the way through Tom Riddle's story and how he becomes Lord Voldemort, and I think that could be a really interesting thing to see how he grows from being a young boy in the orphanage, because he is an orphan, and all the way through his time at Hogwarts, and becoming evil, because evil isn't born, it's made.
And we even see in the later books Tom Riddle's kind of change and how he ends up becoming sort of a dark wizard.
This has been a long time coming. People have been begging for both a Marauders and backstory of Tom Riddle, even a Founding Fathers of Hogwarts TV show or series or movies. It would also be very interesting to see what goes on set and behind the scenes of this production due to the recent comments made by J.K. Rowling attacking the trans community. Me and Audrey would just like to state that we in no way, any shape or form support J.K. Rowling in those comments,
We don't like her.
No.
Shoot, Krista!
We gotta catch the Hogwarts Express!
Peace out, guys.
Bye!
Thanks, Krista and Audra. Coming up on Hashtag That, tips for showing yourself love every day of the year and not just Valentine's Day. Plus, a music review of some of the best new singles.
Keep it here on Q30TV.com. We'll be back after these messages.
There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Welcome back to Hashtag That. Now, I'm still feeling some love in the air. And Jonathan, I heard you had a date last night. How did it go?
You know, it was awesome. Glad you're still feeling that love in the air, but it was great. Took my girlfriend out to a nice restaurant in Cheshire. We went back to my house, watched a movie. It was just a great time. Too bad we fell asleep by 10:30, so we didn't have that much fun.
Well, sounds like it. A very nice date. Now, for those of you who aren't Jonathan's girlfriend, hashtagger Gabby has some self-love tips on days like yesterday and every day of the year. Gabby?
Hi guys, so today I'm going to be sharing some self-love tips that you can use any day just to make yourself feel good and just to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So one of the first things that I think is super important is just taking a few minutes each day for yourself. Obviously everyone has such busy schedules and busy lives that it sometimes gets very difficult to take a few minutes for yourself, but I think it's something that can really help relieve stress, and just putting yourself first for those few minutes could really help. One thing that I find very helpful is journaling. I think it's very therapeutic. I do it for like a few minutes every night just because I think we get so caught up in our heads with the things that we're feeling and that we see every day that we forget that like it can get very messy up there. So I think just taking a few minutes to write things down about your day, about what you thought was going to be different, about what you enjoyed, is just really helpful to look back on and reflect. I don't know about you guys, but I love taking walks. I love like being in the fresh air. I find it very relaxing. So I think taking some time out of your day to take a walk, or not even a walk, just like sit outside, fresh air can really soothe the soul. Something that I know I'm super guilty of, that other people maybe also, is just like getting wrapped up on our phones and social media. So I think showing yourself some self-love could include just not going on your phone for a little bit and unplugging from social media. So I think just taking a few minutes or even an hour of your day to just like not go on your phone and just be present in the moment could really help. Adding on to another positive note, you should write some notes about yourself, things that you like about yourself, things that you do that you enjoy, little things, quirky things that you like. I think it's really nice to look back on and realize how much there is to love about yourself. So just writing a few notes, and you can plaster it around your room or your wall, even around your mirror in the morning. So you'll always start off each day, focus on something you like about yourself. Last, but most definitely not least, you gotta dance. You just gotta put on a song that you like. Maybe it's at night, maybe it's in the morning, afternoon dance perhaps. And you just do just a little dance, any song you like. It really just releases any stress, makes you feel good, and what's better to listen to a good song. So those are some of the things that I do to show myself some self-love. It helps me, relaxes me. I hope you guys like those tips. I hope you follow them. If you do, send me a dance. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and back to you guys.
Thanks, Gabby. Such a great message there. One thing that she said that I really liked was about keeping notes around your room for inspiration and motivation. Do you have any notes around your room?
I do, actually, so it's funny you mentioned that. They're right above my desk, keep me motivated. Every now and then when I get down, I look at them, and, you know, they're just a nice pick-me-up.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use some of those tips tonight that Gabby was saying in the video.
Yes, definitely. And now going to be using some of those tips off of the desk tonight, like we say. And Sydney now has some of this week's weird news. Sydney?
Thanks, guys. I'm Sydney Reynolds, and boy, do we have some strange things to talk about this week. Think you procrastinate too much? Well, this woman may have the most insane procrastination story yet. An Australian woman carried around a lottery ticket for over a month, not knowing she was a winner. When she finally checked the numbers on her card, she realized she had won $1 million. Despite that long wait time, she was still able to cash in her card and get the prize. Fingers crossed I also have $1 million just laying around somewhere. In even more millionaire news, an 8-year-old border collie named Lulu is now also a millionaire. Bill Doris, a businessman from Tennessee, left his entire estate to his beloved pet, and that sum was $5 million. His neighbor has now taken care over the dog's, is now the dog's caretaker. However, the neighbor can only use the estate if they need to buy something for Lulu, like food or toys. Seems like Lulu is going to have some treats for days. And in our final weird news, there is yet another pet who was very lucky this past week. Carl the cat went missing 4 years ago and was finally found thanks to his microchip. He had traveled nearly 600 miles and crossed state lines. He made it all the way from Texas to Arkansas. Carl is finally back home with his owners and has been treated by a vet. From procrastinating millionaires to well taking care of pets to finally finding your way home, it has been quite a strange week. And that's all I have for this week's weird news. I'm Sydney Reynolds, and back to you guys.
Thanks, Sydney. And now it's not Monday without The Bachelor, and there is a lot of drama. But what else is new?
A lot's new apparently, and Caroline is here to tell us with more.
Hey hashtag, I'm Caroline Torpy, and I'm back this week to give you a breakdown of everything that happened during the past week with Matt's episode as The Bachelor. So during the past week, of course, there was so much drama, but this episode was especially interesting because it started with a huge fight between MJ and Jasenia. MJ and Jasenia have been having a huge argument about why each of them are there and what their intentions are. MJ, of course, thinks this is ridiculous because she thinks that she shouldn't be being targeted for just being there and trying to help others, but Jasenia thinks that MJ is starting a lot of drama and is questioning her intentions and why she's there. So Matt spoke to both of them and sat them both down and had a huge conversation with them. Ultimately, he decided to send MJ home, and MJ was, of course, heartbroken by this, but said that sooner or later, he'd find out the truth about who the real villain was. After this, though, there was a little positive moment when someone got to go on their first one-on-one dates. So Piper got to go on her first one-on-one date. I personally love Piper, and I was so excited to see this. But before this all went down, Serena C actually confronted Katie about her intentions of being there. So Katie said that her only intention was to be there for Matt, and she wasn't there to cause any drama, but Serena C was not having it. Unfortunately, I don't think Serena C is changing her mind about Katie, but I'm really glad that Katie stood up for herself and explained that she was there for the right reason. Going back to the one-on-one date, Matt and Piper went on a super fun date to their own private carnival. During this private carnival event, they went on a bunch of rides, had so many games to play, and ate some really good food. I'm really glad they had a lot of fun, and she ultimately got the rose that day. She also opened up about how she was afraid to share how she felt, and it was really hard and scary for her, but Matt understood her and welcomed her in with open arms. So during the group date, Chris Harrison decided to take the girls to a fun bowling adventure. The girls had to compete to see who would get time with Matt later that night. So the pink team ended up winning, but Chris Harrison decided to surprise them all and said, you know what, the blue team could come to the cocktail party too. So technically the challenge wasn't really there, but it was really fun to see all the girls get so competitive, and ultimately Michelle got the group date rose. Matt then had a one-on-one date with Katie. I personally love Katie, but this date didn't go as well as I thought. So Matt told Katie that Tyler Cameron was there and he wanted to come there for a massage. So Katie and Matt had to prank Tyler with the masseuse there and tell them anything they wanted to do to Tyler. It was really funny to watch and a little bit awkward and cringy, but I think it was a really fun one-on-one date. Katie and Matt didn't have a lot of chemistry though, and although they had really good conversation, Matt decided not to give Katie the rose because he just didn't see her as a possible candidate for his future wife. So this episode took a full crazy turn of events when Heather Martin, a Bachelor star, decided to show up. So Heather has been previously on The Bachelor and she is well known in Bachelor Nation, but she came out of nowhere today and she said that she really wanted to meet Matt. So Chris Harrison was initially taken aback by this, but he said that she could meet Matt after she was following the COVID guidelines, protocols, and quarantine. So at the end of the episode, we saw Heather interrupt Matt's conversation with one of the girls, and then the episode ended right there. So next week we have to find out how the girls reacted to Heather's arrival and what Matt thinks of Heather. I'm so excited to see all the drama unfold and get to know Heather a little bit more because she definitely seems like the bold type. So be sure to tune into #that next week to hear all the latest updates and hear everything that goes down with Matt's season of The Bachelor.
Thanks, Caroline, for that much-needed Bachelor update.
On the other side of the break, we have your Hollywood news update and a celebration of celebrities. Stay with us.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Thanks for sticking with us. Now it's time for some Hollywood news updates, and the only thing I really care about, I think, is Taylor Swift's latest release. Maggie, tell us all about it.
Thanks, guys. A lot has happened in the entertainment world this week, so let's dive right in. To start, Taylor Swift released Love Story, Taylor's version, this past Friday. This was fans' first peek into the singer-songwriter's re-recordings of her first 6 albums, starting with Fearless, which will be released in its entirety on April 9th. Although Swift's new version of Love Story is pretty similar to the original, there are a few differences between the two. Everything in the new version sounds crisper, with more separation between the instruments. This allows listeners to pick out little details that were buried in the original. For example, the sound of the pick on the banjo strings. It can also be heard that Swift's voice has matured. The biggest difference is that Swift finally owns the rights to the new version of the song. Her original masters from her first 6 albums are all the property of Swift's former record company, Big Machine Records, which she left in 2018. This is my worst case scenario, Swift said in a lengthy Tumblr post addressing the situation back in 2019. Swift said she suffered, quote, incessant manipulative bullying at the hands of Scooter Braun, who had acquired Big Machine Records. What do you guys think of the new version of Love Story? Do you think Swift is re-recording her songs for herself, to get back at Scooter Braun, or both?
Maggie, I'll tell you, and Jonathan, you know I'm a huge Swiftie, but to answer your question, I think she's recording it mainly for herself, but it's also a little jab back at Scooter Braun and the record company. It's just so sad that she doesn't own the music that, you know, she made back when she was so young and didn't really know anything about these negotiations, but I love this new song. I love what it stands for. I love that she did it. So I will definitely be streaming.
I don't know how to follow it up. It's unfair, though, what happened to Taylor Swift with her music, that it's not her property. She put all the work in, and she was doing all of that, and it makes sense to get back at Scooter Braun. All I know, too, is that April 9th, when Fearless comes out, Maggie was just telling us about that. I can't bother you for 24 straight hours. You got to listen to the whole album, take it all in.
I'll be streaming. I'm still taking in Folklore and Evermore, so there's a lot going on right now. Yeah, love her. She's amazing. Going hard at work. She's a boss lady. What else is there to say?
Yeah, Maggie, what do you think about all this?
I also heard that Love Story, the new version, is kind of an homage to where she is now and to her fans. It opens with, "We were both young when I first saw you," kind of talking about her fans. We were also young when she first started and became this star. So I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. I think that her new album is going to be incredible. But moving on, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are about to become a family of 4. The two announced on Valentine's Day that they are expecting another baby, making Archie a big brother. This happy news comes after Meghan revealed she had suffered a miscarriage last July. She had written in the New York Times back in November that, quote, "Losing a child means carrying an almost unbearable grief, experienced by many, but talked about by few," end quote. Meghan and Harry officially stepped down from their roles as senior royals last year in order to pursue a normal life. This desire was what played a role in their groundbreaking decision. And when Archie was born, the couple's focus shifted even more to, quote, "doing what's right for their family," end quote. Jonathan and Katie, what are your thoughts on the couple's decision to step away from their royal duties? And how do you feel about their most recent announcement?
First of all, congratulations for them on their most recent announcement, having another kid in the family. I think it's tough, though, to go back to having a normal life, because even though you're stepping away from your royal duties, it's hard because of where you came from. Everyone knows who you are already, but I think you can integrate into normal life a little bit, but you'll still have that big reputation. But I hope they succeed, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. Stepping back and trying to take yourself out of the public eye. It's funny because for normal people like us, we watch and we're amazed by their life, and they want the life we have. It's that funny, back and forth. But still amazing news, and especially after the miscarriage. So it's so terrible that happened, but she's trying again, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, that can really only be commended. We have a pretty good life, though. We're hosting #Dad on a nice Monday night.
Of course.
That's pretty good. But congrats to their family. Maggie, how do you feel about this situation that they're going to have a 4th member of the non-royal family now?
I am so happy for them. I also heard that William and Kate are also trying for a new child. So Prince Harry and, of course, Meghan could have a new niece or nephew soon. So the family will always continue to get bigger. But lastly, the rumors are true. Chris Harrison will be stepping aside from The Bachelor after taking part in a controversial interview. People.com confirmed that he will be taking a break from the franchise after defending a current contestant's racist photos during an interview. Harrison took to his Instagram on Saturday and wrote, quote, "I have spent the last few days listening to the pain my words have caused, and I am deeply remorseful. My ignorance did damage to my friends, colleagues, and strangers alike. I have no one to blame but myself for what I said and the way I spoke," end quote. People.com also confirmed that Harrison's girlfriend, Laura Zima, shared a brief statement on her Instagram story. She wrote, quote, "What Chris said was wrong and disappointing. Defending racism can never happen. Accountability comes first. What's next is learning and growth," end quote. It is not clear at this time how long Harrison will be absent from the show or who will take his place during the After the Final Rose special, which is always live. What do you guys think about all of this? As the face of a franchise, how important is it for someone to be a person that others can look up to? Do you think this could just be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Bachelor franchise?
Maggie, I think no matter what kind of role you're in, but especially on television when you have this big fan base, for someone like Chris Harrison to defend racism like that is obviously unacceptable, and I don't know if he ever will come back. Sure, he's the iconic host of the show, but I don't know. It's definitely not worth it if you ask me.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, we know what Chris Harrison was trying to do in terms of defending the brand and the company that he works for, but the way he did it, how he did it, absolutely inexcusable, absolutely unacceptable. I'm totally with you. It'll be interesting to see when Chris Harrison comes back, if he comes back, I should say, actually. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes of that, but definitely unacceptable, definitely inexcusable, and not a good look at all for the Bachelor franchise, Maggie.
It is so shocking to me because when you think of The Bachelor, you think of Chris Harrison. He is the face of that franchise. Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelor Winter Games, all of them. So for him to leave, it's making a lot of fans question who's going to take his place and step up into this important role.
Thanks, Maggie, for joining us live for that Hollywood News update. Coming up next, we have a review of Jeremy Zucker and Chelsea Cutler's latest album. Stick with us.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Welcome back. In the last leg of the show, we'll look at Jeremy Zucker and Chelsea Cutler's newest love album, Brett 2. Hashtaggers Mason and Isabella have all the deets.
Hey Hashtag, and welcome back to
Music Breakdown. I'm Bella.
And I'm Mason.
And today we're going to be talking about the brand new EP, Brett 2, by Jeremy Zucker and Chelsea Cutler.
Jeremy Zucker is actually from our home state, New Jersey, and Chelsea Cutler is from Connecticut. You might know their EP, Brent, which was released in 2019 with the lead single, You Were Good to Me.
So in November of last year, Jeremy and Chelsea announced on social media that they would be releasing a sequel EP, Brent 2, that came out this month in February, and their first single on the EP, This Is How You Fall in Love, came out in early January.
We actually listened to the single together, and I know we both really liked it, but what were your thoughts?
So I really just love how Jeremy and Chelsea's voices go together. I think you can really tell, like, even though they're just friends, like, they have such a connection together, and their lyrics are always so, like, clever and very meaningful and deep, so I really enjoyed it. What about you?
For sure, yeah. They actually make these EPs staying in a cabin together for a week, just the two of them and their producers, and you can definitely tell the connection they build doing that, and I think this song is just perfectly written, and it's very beautiful. I recommend it to anyone.
Definitely. The next song on the EP is called Parent Song, so what did you think of it, Mace?
I think this is another great one. While we were listening together, the transition from the last song to this one is so perfect, and it just really like tells a story, and the songs connect so well. And I think this one also has a really good meaning, and it's really nice, and it's just a great song too. So what were your thoughts on Parent Song?
I absolutely love the message of the whole song, and I just think this whole EP as a whole, it's like perfect for Valentine's Day. It's all about loving your friends, your significant other, and even your parents. Like this song they wrote like to their parents, just about how much like they miss them and they care for them even though they're not always there. And I think it's just an important message for everyone to listen to and very relatable, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely for college students, very relatable.
For sure.
The next song on the EP is Emily. What did you think about that one, Bella?
So despite the whole lovey feel of the EP, this one is more about like a toxic relationship. I think that it was very well made and well written. What did you think?
Honestly, this might be the catchiest song on the EP. Just like the chorus is kind of like sticks in your head. So I always come back to that one, but I agree it is more of a toxic relationship than the other ones.
Yeah. The fourth song on the EP is called Brooklyn Boy, and this one is actually just by Jeremy. Jeremy and Chelsea both did one of their own songs on the EP. So what did you think of this one?
I think this is a great song. In my opinion, I don't know how much it fits in tone with the rest of the EP, because this one is very depressing. But I think it is important and it is well written, and I'll still listen to it, but I think it kind of is an outlier compared to the rest of the songs. The last song on the EP is Just by Chelsea, and it's called The Stars. So what did you think of this one?
So this song is my favorite off of the whole EP. I think it's a perfect ending, and it really just brings the whole collection of songs to a close really well. I love the lyrics. It's very heartwarming. It's a perfect song to listen to with your significant other on Valentine's Day, and it's all just about being in love, so I loved it. What about you?
Yeah, this is a classic Chelsea Cutler Gut Punch. It's a great song. I highly recommend. It's a perfect ending.
If I had to give Brent 2 a rating, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. All of the songs have been stuck in our heads on repeat lately, and it's my favorite thing to listen to, and I just loved it. What about you?
I think Brent 2 is as good, if not better, than Brent 1. Both these artists are just geniuses, so highly recommend. Definitely go listen to Brent 2 with someone you care about.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys. And you know what time it is now? It's time for a celeb celebration. Katie, you go first.
First up, turning 27 today is Megan Thee Stallion. Megan is an American singer, rapper, and songwriter. Many of her songs going viral on TikTok. She's originally from Houston, Texas. Happy birthday, Megan.
And in the spirit of Valentine's Day, George Brett is celebrating his 30th wedding anniversary with his wife, Leslie Davenport. George Brett is a former professional baseball player who played 21 seasons for the Kansas City Royals. We wish them many more happy anniversaries. That's all the time we have on #that tonight. Thanks for joining us inside Studio 125.
Be sure to tune in next week for another episode, same time, same place. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. And of course, get the Q30 app to watch all of our shows easier. Until next time.